If you're a young man and you're watching this, there is absolutely zero fucking reason why you should not be making some type of money. And listen, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not going to say I'm making tens of thousands of dollars a month, but I am making income. And as a young man, I fully believe that you should as well. And if you're not, there's a serious problem. So today we're going to discuss how to do just that. So I'll give you a bit of a backstory. I'm 18, didn't go to college. Felt like it was a waste of time. So instead, I thought, what else can I do? What is it that I like? What is it that I want to do in the future? Let's think about that. So long story short, started reaching out to a bunch of influencers because I was into the sales space. I really just had a passion for sales and I had been learning about it for a while. And I landed a job as an appointment setter for a big influencer who I'm now still working with. Now, this has been quite an experience because not only have I grown in my income, I've grown as a person and my beliefs have grown because I came from a place where a lot of people, literally everybody, was telling me, no, you can't be anything if you don't go to college, to in 2 months proving them wrong and making, more money than I thought I would make. And it's not a huge amount, but it's definitely more than I thought I would be making at the moment. So that leads us to why you're not making money. And it comes down to one simple thing, and it's the fact that you're fucking lazy. And well, another thing is that you don't have enough information. By the way, if you're into these topics, want to improve, want to learn more about what I'm talking about, or just want to have more access directly to me to be able to speak, I suggest you join the Discord, free community, gonna link it down below. We just started, so looking forward to seeing you in there. So how do we fix this? Number one, if you're lazy, there really is no solution. It's either you wake up and you realize one day that you want to make money and that you want to do it your way, or you just sit there and wait for it to come to you. It'll never come to you. And you end up broke, or you end up with a job you don't want, you end up somewhere you don't want. So, you can take that decision. And if you want to take the second decision to stay mediocre, then click off this video. I don't want you here. This is for the people that do want to make a decision, do want to put in the effort, right? Because obviously it requires effort. That goes without saying. So please, I hope you know that. I hope that's in your mind. If you want to make money, it's going to require some level of effort. And the more effort you put in, usually the more money you make. Number two, and this is the big part, is lack of information. So let's say that your name is Johnny and you have zero experience in anything. You know fuck all about money and you barely know how to count. Hopefully you can spell your name at least. Okay, what would I do there? Number one, we all have attributes or talents that we're predestined towards. So for example, I've always been a good speaker. I've always been pretty charismatic. And so I thought, why not get into sales? Coincidentally, I really like the idea of being able to persuade people with my language. I think it's really cool. So I don't really have a problem with studying it, learning more about it, really delving deep into it. For you, that might be computer programming. For you, that might be copywriting. For you, that might be marketing. It really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you find a skill that you're naturally inclined towards. And I promise you, before you make any excuses or have any limiting beliefs, you have a skill. Well, not a skill, you have something that you are naturally inclined towards. Now, I want you to write down a list of things that you could be naturally inclined towards. Maybe that's from your childhood, maybe that's from your dad who taught you a lot about something. Maybe that's from something you've realized, right? Once you write those skills down, take one. I want you to take one skill that can be adapted into the real world. In my case, sales, for example. The next thing I want you to do, take a look at everything you're doing in your day and fuck all of it off. Fuck all of it off. If it's not necessary, leave it alone. If it's not school, if it's not eating breakfast, if it's not going to the gym, if you have to go to the gym, fuck all of it off. And what you're going to do is you're going to take YouTube and you're going to learn that skill that you chose to its core. You're going to take notes about it. You're going to watch videos every day. You're going to implement it. You're going to practice and you are going to obsess over it. Okay? Now, on a long enough time frame, there is no way that you don't become at least decent at this skill. And once you're decent at this skill, guess what that means? It means you can monetize it. So step number two, first step, you get a skill, you get good at it. Step number two, you monetize it. Now, how did I do this in my case? Well, again, knew I didn't want to go to college. I knew I didn't want to work a car sales job because it felt tacky. I knew that I wanted something that at least was connected to where I wanted to be. So I started reaching out to influencers that I liked and didn't like. And luckily, an influencer that I did like reached out. And he told me, why don't we hop on an interview with my team and we'll see if you're a good fit. A few days later, I was on the team and I was starting to do my thing. Now, You don't need much experience. I know that's another limiting belief that you're gonna have. Oh, I have no experience. And I'll tell you why. Because if your skills outweigh your experience, you're all set. And in the worst case scenario, what you can do is offer your skills for free. Hey, listen, high school student, I've been working on this for a few months. Let me know what you think of my copywriting skills. And you write them up a free email. And you do that until you get somebody that'll pay you fuck all. He'll pay you almost nothing, but at least you have the testimonial. Once you have that, you can start scaling up to better jobs. But there is zero reason why you should have no money if you are a young man. Because you have legs, hopefully, you have arms, you have a brain, and you have energy. And if you don't have energy, grab some coffee. If you have those four, if you have that combination, which 99% of young men have, then I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be learning a skill, implementing it, and then monetizing it. And worst case scenario, or let's say you just want to skip all this process, what you do, you get a job, Publix, I don't know, cashier, somewhere that requires no experience, somewhere that you can get into, and you start saving. Now, once you start saving, hopefully if you can save, what you do is you start looking where to invest it into. Don't think stocks, don't think crypto, don't think meme coins, because really what that takes is losing lots of money to make more money, right? Because you have to get experience. Invest it into knowledge. So for example, let's say you want to get good at video editing because you want to video edit for big content creators in the future. Start looking at people who video edit, start looking at communities, start looking at courses. And then what you do from there, you implement it and go back to the steps that we were talking about before. Now, I want you to take action on this video. If you take it in the next 3 months, there's no reason why you shouldn't have an income.